The elites, bankers, and BlackRocks of the world aren't even trying to hide it anymore. They're making their plans to steal your crypto and your wealth. Or famously, as Klaus Schwab, the founder of the World Economic Forum, once shared, you will have nothing and be happy. And if the elites have their way, they will own everything: your real estate, your retirement plan, your crypto portfolio, and even your autonomy. But let me explain why this may be your last chance to not only protect yourself and your family, but get wealthy using XRP alongside the elites, because they're telling you exactly what's going to happen in the future, and more specifically with crypto, which you can profit from. We'll also be sharing some of the latest news from the Ripple Swell conference happening right now that's got many XRP investors excited, because with all of the amazing developments, it's likely XRP is not going to chill out in this range for too much longer. And bear with me, I know you hear this all the time. XRP is going to hit a new all-time high soon, and then it just doesn't. However, like Noah and his ark, nobody believed until the flood came. And believe me, the flood is coming. It could come in the form of new institutional adoption through their RLUSD stablecoin. It could come through an XRP ETF early next year. It could simply come because Bitcoin is pumping and the entire crypto market likes to follow. Whatever the case, you'll want to stick around until the end of this video, because I'll not only share all of the latest developments, but I'll also share with you how to protect yourself and your portfolio, and hopefully see some massive gains by the end of 2024. So if you're feeling blessed and bullish, comment 777. And if you're going to be the wealthiest person in your family tree, smash the subscribe button. Before we dive in, a quick reminder that the opinions in this video are for informational and educational purposes only and do not constitute financial, legal, or investment advice. All investments, including cryptos, carry risks and potential losses. Always do your own research and consult with a licensed financial advisor. We are not licensed financial advisors, and relying on our content for financial decisions is at your own risk. By watching this video, you agree we are not responsible for any losses or damages, and we do not guarantee any specific results or outcomes. Some of the links below may be affiliate links, and we may earn a commission, which actually helps support this channel and helps us to create value-based videos like this. We also hold some positions in the cryptocurrencies that we talk about, but that's only because we do what we believe in. However, this should not be interpreted as a recommendation for you to do the same. With that said, let's get into the video. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name's Paul, and although we could spend the next few hours diving into how the globalists want to control us, from pushing CBDCs and surveillance to pressuring companies to adopt their woke ideologies with investor funds, or even lobbying their way into almost every single international organization and using United States lawmakers to do their bidding. And although this is true, I don't want to spend too much time on this topic, because it's not all doom and gloom. Sometimes when you know what's coming, you can take advantage of it and then profit from it. However, that said, in this article from Fox Business, basically someone, I can't remember the exact name of this dude, says Will Hild, BlackRock is using money that doesn't belong to them to push an extreme agenda with no regard for American families who are paying the price, not only now, but through their pension funds, which are being weaponized to the detriment of their potential profits. Consumers deserve to know where their investments are going, especially when it's leading to higher costs everywhere, from gas pumps and groceries to rent prices and housing costs. And in many ways, if you're in the markets, this is really good, right, for the value of your portfolio when we talk about M2 money supply and inflation. On the flip side, if everything continues to cost more and you're not in the wealthier elite, then really what happens is your wealth starts to get diluted. Today, we're going to talk mostly about money and crypto, and obviously Larry Fink, chairman and founder of BlackRock, the world's largest hedge fund manager, or not hedge fund, but just fund manager, and what he recently shared that will shock you about the crypto markets. But first, I'll begin by letting Senator Tim Massey show you exactly how they start the process of robbing you of your wealth.
This is what happens when you have a quantity of something, and then you add more to it. This is dilution. The principle is so simple that a child can understand. And you can create this little science project at home. Sorry, you can have your tea back. Okay. But the principle is called dilution. And when you print $5 trillion and you put it into the economy, you have diluted the value of the money. So for instance, if you had a minimum wage at some amount and somebody was making minimum wage and they were still making minimum wage after this money was printed, they actually are making considerably less in terms of real dollars. It's dilution. So the $5 trillion that we printed, I would argue, is the primary source of inflation. You know, we can say, well, eggs went up because feed went up, fuel went up because there's a war in Ukraine. You can find a lot of excuses for various different industries. But what is the probability that every price went up all at the same time? You can't blame them on specific supply chain problems. The thing
how do you explain the global?
Yes, I'm glad you asked me that, Professor Raskin. Because they did the same thing in Europe. They did this everywhere. They printed their own equivalents of the Federal Reserve and treasuries, created their own money out of thin air. It may be the only thing that saved our dollar is that everybody else did the same thing to their currency.
And that's the real issue that we're running to. Globally, M2 money supply continues to increase as reckless governments and central banks continue to try to print their way out of the problems. What this does is continues to increase the gap between the low income and middle income class, and then makes the wealthy wealthier while the poor get poor. Larry Fink obviously knows this, and he knows that the dollar is going to continue to decline alongside other currencies in fiat form. That's why he believes in Bitcoin. And here is a Q3 earnings conference call where Larry Fink shares some interesting insights in what they are about to do with crypto and how they will rob you of your crypto in the future if you let them.
Well, first, I'm not sure if either president or other candidate would make a difference. I do believe the utilization of digital assets are going to become more and more of a reality worldwide. Conversations we're having with institutions worldwide, conversations about how should they think about digital assets, what type of asset allocation there should be. I mean, we believe Bitcoin is an asset class in itself. It is an alternative to other commodities like gold.
And what's crazy, it's not just an alternative to gold, according to Larry Fink, and all of the money and research that they have behind this now. However, he's saying Bitcoin will become as big as the entire US housing market. Now, think about that for just a second. Bitcoin right now is sitting at $1.3 trillion, while the US housing market is north of $50 trillion. Now, you may be sitting here wondering, well, what does that matter for me as an XRP investor and holder? Well, I'll tell you right now, XRP typically performs well when Bitcoin does, and a rising tide raises all ships. In other words, if the entire crypto market is going up, then yes, your XRP bag is going to go up as well. And here, closer to the end of the video, I'll explain a few different targets and share those targets based on a $50 trillion Bitcoin. Now, there have been some really exciting announcements over at Ripple from the Ripple Swell Conference that is happening right now in Miami. One of those major things is that they have worked on regulatory approval and it's pending. However, they are already partnered with Uphold, which is a massive player. Same with Bitstamp, Bitso, MoonPay, CoinMena, and even bullish. In other words, these are going to be all, and then obviously Inder Reserve, however, they weren't tagged, so I missed that. These are all going to be people that now adopt and use the RLUSD stablecoin, which is ultimately going to provide liquidity for the entire XRPL and even XRP itself. In other words, more money flowing in, good for the price of XRP, as XRP is the linchpin to the entire ecosystem. And here is an excerpt from Monica Long over at the Swell Conference, who is the president of Ripple.
In our industry, we think the headline of 2024, it has been the biggest year of institutional adoption for digital assets and blockchain that we've seen to date. And we think this has been driven by three trends: momentum for global regulatory clarity, crypto getting validation from Wall Street as a bona fide asset class, tokenization of real-world assets. And we think this is just the tip of the iceberg. We know from working with financial institutions for many years that what they want is a one-stop shop that provides secure and compliant digital asset infrastructure. And that's what we do.
Now, really quickly on the SEC court case, there have been some announcements and news surrounding the situation. One of those would be that a woman had a conversation with Stuart Alderoty, who is the chief legal officer over at Ripple. And here's the timeline of what he thinks is going to happen. The SEC Gov's last day to file Form C, which will give some level of detail about what it plans to appeal, is tomorrow. 7 days later, Ripple will file its own Form C, which will give more details about its own cross appeal. So now we're actually getting all of the details. Both parties will then agree on a briefing schedule, and the SEC will have up to 90 days to file its first brief. Alderoty expects them to take the full 90 days, as they always do. That opening brief will be a full recitation of all legal arguments that the SEC will be making. Ripple will file a response, and then its own brief. The briefing process, according to Alderoty, will go through July 2025. However, they are very confident, and this is something that they made a note of at the conference, that they are going to be likely the winners in the Court of Appeals at a higher circuit. So that said, things are looking really good and up for Ripple, so much so that Grayscale is even looking to convert its digital large cap fund into an entire ETF, and that would include Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and AVAX. So imagine that XRP would now officially be involved in a spot ETF. That would be tremendous news for XRP moving into 2025. And if things couldn't get more bullish, here is a conversation that Stuart Alderoty had with a superintendent of New York.
How do you see, if at all, the integration of the crypto industry with TradFi?
Yeah. We see more and more interest from TradFi in the space, right? We want innovation to happen, but we want it to be careful and responsible for people to run the water through the pipes and really make sure they're thinking through unintended consequences or how the system is going to work and how it might break. And I think the TradFi folks really bring a little bit more of that sensibility to the space, which is good.
And that's exactly what's happened. When they talk about TradFi, we're talking about traditional finance. Well, BlackRock is now near holding 2% of the entire Bitcoin supply as institutional capital swells. And that's proven right here on the chart, where now they hold 370,000 Bitcoin, and you can see that the trend is consistently up right here, and this orange line, I'll try to get out of the way right here, they're consistently accumulating Bitcoin, so much so that exchange reserves have hit new all-time lows. There is less Bitcoin available on exchanges than ever before as we start to print a new trend. As you can see here, the price is consistently now putting in higher highs and higher lows since the low back on September 5th, and there is less Bitcoin available to buy. And as economics work, right, the less supply there is, if demand even remains the same, the price will go up. Well, what if demand continues to increase as there is less supply? And this is the warning that I want to give you. The BlackRocks and the institutions of the world are out to steal your crypto. They will not have access to capital in crypto unless you're the one selling it to them. And they are going to withdraw it from exchanges and hold it for good for their ETFs as demand grows amongst their institutional clients. Well, institutional clients are the ones with all the money. So why would I be giving the people with all the money my money, right? Ultimately, my goal is to accumulate more and more crypto. And XRP obviously is one of those biggest assets, considering the fact that it's even showing up right here on CryptoQuant as one of the most looked at cryptos. So if Bitcoin continues to get removed from exchanges, XRP is likely to get removed from exchanges as there is a spot ETF filing in the near future. And I'm thinking early 2025 with more regulatory clarity, or Gary Gensler, chief and clown at the SEC, out. So before I even dive into the price action for just a second, I really want to reiterate the fact that XRP is at the perfect place to continue to accumulate, whether we even see a bit of volatility. And if volatility looks like a bit of sell pressure or some sort of a crazy event, my buy ranges are between, I would say, about 47 cents right down here, 48 cents, all the way down to about 40 cents to 38 cents. This right here seems to be an amazing range to buy, considering when you look at all of these wicks, there are a lot of buyers in this range. Every single time the price dumps into this range, it gets bought right back up with a lot of accumulation. So that said, even if we did dump into this range, I think it would be an amazing time to buy. 43, 44 cents, amazing. However, I don't know if that's actually going to happen, considering we are now seeing the entire crypto market turn around. So why is XRP lagging? Well, many people believe that there's been a lot of institutional pressure to keep the price down so they can continue to accumulate. Other people just say it just hasn't happened yet because of the SEC lawsuit. Whatever the case may be, XRP price is looking really, really strong. Right now, we have a strong support right here at the 50 to 52 cent range, and we are continually putting in newer highs, even though they are very small. We're trading in a very tight range, but generally speaking, look at this trend right here from an hourly time frame. So when we go from the daily time frame and you look at, Bollinger Bands, this is such a tight range that I would expect an explosion to the upside as long as the crypto market looks healthy. And I would argue that's first going to happen to 57 cents. We might see a little bit of resistance there, but then again, likely to 64 cents. So 64 cents would be my very first target. Now, because this would be the first, second, third, and maybe fourth, definitely fifth, sixth time that we've hit this range, the more times you knock on a door, the more likely it is to open. In other words, the more that you hit a resistance, the more likely you're about to break above. When we get a break above, that 74 cent range is going to be the one to break, considering there's a confluence of resistance there from a multi-year time frame. I'll go ahead and take this drawing tool. We'll draw it right through here, and I'll put it on a weekly time frame. And as you can see here, from a weekly time frame, we are seeing resistance here, and we are nearing the very long end of a 6.5 year consolidation and downtrend range, where if we break out, yes, it's highly likely we're breaking out to new all-time highs, especially with all the positive developments, especially with all the institutional order flows, especially with the spot ETF, especially with regulatory clarity. I mean, this thing is getting really, really exciting, and I just don't want you to sleep on it, because at one point in time, it's not just going to be BlackRock trying to buy your Bitcoin bags. It's going to be BlackRock accumulating your XRP bags. And if you sell it to them, they get richer, you get poorer. So the best thing you can do right now is find a way to accumulate more and more and more. Now, that is not financial advice, right? Speak to a financial advisor. I'm just giving you my personal take and opinion, and you do whatever you want with your own money. However, this is my opinion, and I'm pretty confident we're going to see a new all-time high this year, by the end of the year, or maybe even the start of next year. But the time has come for XRP and XRP holders to win. So that said, if you are one of those XRP holders that plans to win, I highly recommend you check out the link down in the description or in the very first pinned comment down below. Make sure it's from the Bull Runners team. Go to bullrunners.com/cryptoland. It's one word, crypto land, to discover how to earn crypto in less than 10 minutes with the #1 play to earn XRP game. We have people inside of the community earning between 1,000 to 2,000 XRP per day. That's not going to be everyone. They're just more comfortable with it. They've been doing it longer. Maybe they have more money and capital, whatever the case may be. But you can watch this 8-minute video that explains exactly how this thing works, so you feel confident and comfortable. Heck, I'd even recommend you watch the other videos so you understand exactly what's going on before you put your XRP into something. But it's a beautiful way to not only reduce your volatility, but accumulate more XRP into the end of the year as the bull run gets started. So you get an XRP wallet, you get your game pieces, you play the game to earn crypto, and it takes about tops 10 minutes per day. I think this is a beautiful way to really put that XRP to work. If you're already planning on holding it, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain by simply going to that page, checking it out, watching the videos, and then trying it for yourself. Again, try only what you're comfortable with, and if you're not comfortable, no worries, we totally understand. But one last time, bullrunners.com/cryptoland. Thanks so much for watching the video. I appreciate your time, my friend. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. And if you haven't already, subscribe, like, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.